Democratic Congressman Ro Khanna of California is with me now. And Congressman Khanna, I know you've had a chance to hear some of that happening elsewhere on Capitol Hill, where you are right now. Matt Gaetz taking questions from reporters. So what do you say? I mean, just to be clear, there has not been an attempt to move to vacate a speaker since 1910. So this is almost unprecedented in its attempt, and it has never been successful. So what do you think is going on here with Congressman Gaetz doing this now?
Erin, I didn't think I'd have to hear more Congressman Gaetz on your show. I've heard a lot of it from him all week. But you know what's sad? I was in the grocery store on Saturday when we finally got the budget passed, a continuing resolution to avoid a shutdown. It was the first time that people were actually coming up to me saying, thank you for what you did, not me personally, but the Congress, to keep the government open. I mean, there was a sigh of relief. And now I come back Monday and there's chaos again. This is exactly what the American people don't want. They want us to focus on solving the problems, not the kind of theater that the Republicans are creating.
All right. He talks about how Gaetz is saying that McCarthy will not remain Speaker if Democrats don't help him. So that's what he's saying. Obviously, some of your colleagues have indicated that they might vote to help him. Gaetz says he's made no deal with Democrats and that you should vote against Speaker McCarthy for free. Where do you stand on this? Would you help support McCarthy to have him remain Speaker to prevent more chaos?
Erin, we're meeting as a caucus tomorrow morning to discuss exactly the question you're asking. I am committed to following Leader Jeffries. There are times in politics where you have to act in unity. This is one of those times. Hakeem Jeffries has done a phenomenal job as a leader, and I will follow what the caucus decides and will defer to his leadership on this issue.
So, okay, I understand what you're saying. So, in other words, you may say, I don't have a full answer to this next question, but let me ask it anyway to understand what your feelings are about it. What would McCarthy have to offer to secure Democratic votes to remain the Speaker, right? Because if your caucus is going to do something to support him, you don't ever get better leverage than you're going to have in that moment. So what do you want for it?
Well, again, I'm not trying to duck the question. I genuinely am going to defer to Hakeem Jeffries and Catherine Clark because they're in a position of negotiating the schedule and negotiating the votes and with leadership. If you ask me what is my vision on Medicare for all or jobs, I'd give you an answer. But here I really believe the appropriate posture for every Democrat, whether a progressive like me, whether a blue dog, whether a moderate, is to unify around our leadership. That's what Speaker Pelosi said. Follow Hakeem Jeffries. If Speaker Pelosi is saying that, I think every Democrat can be for that.
Well, of course, as you say, I guess since you want to show that you don't have the same chaos, which is on display, right, in the GOP right now in the House. I mean, there's no question about it. That it's a mess when you look at that. But when you speak about chaos and unseemly things, there is some to go around. The Democratic Congressman Jamal Bowman is denouncing talking points his staff circulated. These talking points referred to Nazi members of the Republican Party. I don't know if you had a chance to see this, Congressman Khanna, but these talking points were circulated to defend Bowman because he is facing serious criticism. And by the way, it's against the law to pull a fire alarm in a House office building. And he did so shortly before a vote to keep the government open. So, what do you think happened here? He's now saying it's an accident. His office referring to Nazis in the GOP. That's them, not me. Are you okay with that as a defense?
Well, Erin, I'll address your specific question on Representative Bowman. But first, I do want to point out there's no equivalence between that case as an individual member of Congress and the Republican chaos where they aren't able to keep the government open that affects millions of Americans and where they're preventing us from getting things done with these motions to vacate. That said, look, the language of calling Republicans Nazis is completely wrong. I would never call people who I disagree with philosophically, ideologically, a Nazi, which has historical connotations. Yes. And Representative Bowman has apologized for that and said that that was inappropriate language and that has no place in the Congress. I also believe that he has been transparent in explaining why he pulled the fire alarm. He's cooperating with the House administration, and there's going to be a transparent inquiry into that, which he has owned up to.
All right. Well, Congressman Khanna, I appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Erin.
All right. Good to talk to you.